The Solar Warden narrative usually presents a simple picture: a secret human fleet built by powerful factions on Earth, operating quietly in space, hidden from the public, and eventually, we were told, shut down or dismantled in 2008. But the deeper you examine the story, the more problems appear. Because this narrative assumes something very specific. It assumes that the secret space program was operating independently, that human factions somehow built these fleets of spacecraft and began operating through the solar system without interference from extraterrestrial civilizations that were already present here. That idea collapses the moment you look at the broader exopolitical picture. Earth is not an isolated planet. According to numerous contact narratives and historical accounts, multiple extraterrestrial civilizations have been interacting with this planet for a very long time. If that is true, and I believe that it is, then the idea that a human space fleet could suddenly appear and begin operating freely in their territory without oversight simply does not hold up, which leads to a much more logical conclusion. The secret space program was never operating outside of their awareness. It was operating within their system. This is something that's been bothering me as I continue to look deeper into the Solar Warden story. Because once you step back and examine all the pieces, the lines between the different groups begin to blur. We tend to imagine the situation in simple terms: Earth humans on one side, the Cabal on another, the secret space program operating in the shadows, and somewhere beyond all that, extraterrestrial civilizations watching from a distance. But what if those lines do not actually exist the way that we think they do? What if the idea that the secret space program was purely a human operation is in itself a misunderstanding? Because when you look at the larger exopolitical picture, it begins to look very different. The Galactic Federation, the Cabal structures on Earth, secret societies, intelligence agencies, and even various extraterrestrial groups are all operating within the same larger system. Not necessarily as allies, but as players inside the same framework. In that sense, the secret space program would not be something hidden from extraterrestrial civilizations. It would be something happening already under their supervision, and entirely under their supervision. And that changes everything. Because if that's true, then the story that the secret space program was shut down is not actually what people think it means. Programs like that do not simply disappear. They evolve, they transform, they change structure and leadership, but the underlying system continues operating. The same way that governments, wars, and geopolitical conflicts on Earth often change form without ever truly ending. From this perspective, the idea that there was once a human-controlled fleet that suddenly vanished is an oversimplification. Instead, what may exist around Earth is a constantly shifting network of factions: human factions, extraterrestrial factions, secret societies, military alliances, all operating with advanced technology in and around this planet. Sometimes cooperating, sometimes competing, often recruiting individuals into their respective roles, and very often telling those individuals the same story: that Earth must be protected, that humanity must be liberated, that some external enemy must be stopped. Those narratives are powerful because they give meaning and purpose, but they also make people sit on their hands and not do anything except sit there and be integrated by the slow, systemic technology, aka the synthetic intelligence that is taking over this planet literally right in front of everybody's eyes. But they also can serve another function. They can guide belief. They can shape perception. And when belief and perception are guided carefully enough, they begin to shape reality itself. Because the deeper you go into metaphysics, the more you begin to realize something extraordinary. Reality responds to consciousness. The thoughts, expectations, and emotional focus of conscious beings influences what becomes real. And Earth may be a unique place where that process is amplified, a kind of crossroads where many different creator beings came to experience life. Humans, starseeds, extraterrestrial step-downs, all contributing their creative influence to the collective field. If that is true, then controlling the narrative of what people believe becomes incredibly important, because belief shapes expectation. Expectation shapes perception, and perception shapes reality. In that sense, the real battlefield may not be a physical space at all. It might be the human mind. The struggle to influence how people interpret the world around them. The struggle to guide the collective imagination of a planet filled with conscious creator beings. And that may be the deeper reason Earth attracts so much attention from different factions. Not because of resources, not because of territory, but because of consciousness. Because this planet is filled with minds capable of shaping reality itself. And if you were a civilization seeking influence over the future of entire regions of space, that would be something worth competing for. In that light, the secret space program might not be a simple story about hidden ships or classified technology. It might be part of a much larger system of influence. A system where different factions interact with humanity in subtle ways, planting ideas, guiding beliefs, encouraging certain narratives, and watching how those narratives change the direction of human consciousness. Which means the real question may not be whether Solar Warden existed. I think we all know that it did. I think we all know that it does. The real question is something much deeper. Who is shaping the stories we believe our place in the universe? Okay? Who's shaping these stories we believe about our place in the universe? And why? So the real question is no longer whether Solar Warden existed. That question misses the bigger picture. The real question is who managing the system around Earth? And who's shaping the stories humanity believes about its place in the cosmos? Because if the structure surrounding this planet has always been managed by larger forces, then the secret space program was never truly dismantled. It simply evolved, continuing to operate within the same system that has always overseen Earth. And the battle for influence over human consciousness continues. I hope you enjoyed this second part. I'll see you in the next video.